Hello, I'm Bradley and welcome to my channel. Forgive yourself. It's time to get back up. The world is full of so many things which can knock us down. And you know what? I think it's a healthy view on life that it's not always going to be good. And there are going to be days which pull us through the mill and really make us evaluate what on earth is going on and what on earth am I doing. We all make mistakes. Never ever be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes grow us, they teach us, and they enrich us as people. And in the end, it does make us better people. But it's that process of how we get ourselves through it. And it's not until, you could say, a couple of weeks or a couple of months after that, that you actually realise and think, do you know what? Wow, I got through that difficult time in my life. I got through that challenge. I got through that battle and I owned it. And you know what? Look at me now. And I'm not talking about being big-headed or chauvinistic or thinking you're better than somebody else, because that is not what this is about. It's about forgiving yourself. Are you someone who has battles of yourself and your mindset, and you don't never ever let yourself enjoy something because maybe something of the past, maybe something happened which at one point you had the controlling decision, but maybe life had a way of throwing you into a ball and chucking you down the hill, and in the end it was really difficult for you to get back to your old self? Life has its incredible ways of blessing us with situations which at the moment we feel are absolutely horrendous. But do you know what? Sometimes we can go through a bad situation and out the other end can be the most amazing, beautiful horizon. Life is full of difficult times, and as I say, I think it's perfectly healthy to look at life and think that there are going to be bad times. But you know what? It's important that we forgive ourselves, because sometimes when we speak to a loved one and we use the wrong choice of words, or if we have an argument or a crossword with the people we love, it's not because we're being difficult or we're being disjointed or everything's falling apart. It's because you care. Sometimes when you speak a certain way or you're a little bit more direct, it's because you care. Now, between siblings, I should know, I've got 3, I want the best for them. But I'm not afraid to put my foot down and say, actually, do you know what? What you're doing is absolutely causing you an issue. I'd like someone to tell me if I'm doing something and it's going completely pear-shaped or I'm causing my own issues. And I'm not afraid to speak the truth, even sometimes if it gets a response from other people, maybe outside of my family, maybe friends, people who I work with. There's a way of putting a view across and guiding people and nurturing people and wanting people to have the best and the best possible steps ahead of them, but doing it in a respectful way. Not telling somebody they're something, or disrespecting somebody, or using foul language. Yes, we can all do that, but that's the easiest way of pointing out someone's flaws, or pointing out that somebody's made a mistake. But you know what? It starts right with us, that we don't always get it right, and I'll be happy to admit that I don't always get it right. But it's time to forgive yourself, because when you hit the ground, as the famous saying goes, don't forget to breathe, and that amazing song which is out there as well to reaffirm that. So take a few deep breaths, get yourself back up, stop feeling sorry for yourself, because that is just wasting your time, and get right back up, and you know how incredible you are. There's only one of you, don't forget, in this world, so get back up and show the world that you are the person who you are. And yeah, you maybe made a mistake, but you're going to get there. Now, anybody who, when you get back up, looks at you and still holds a grudge, or still holds that same stance in the middle of an argument, just give them a moment, because they're not as quick to turn things around as you. Now, some people hold on to grudges, and I don't understand that. I do when people are hurt deeply, and when people are hurt, they sometimes act very closed down, almost aggressive, but yet sometimes very withdrawn, very closed. Hurt can do some incredible things to us, it really, really can. But it's important that if you can let hold of a grudge, and sometimes it takes time, let go of it, because those heavy emotions, those heavy feelings, those dark, heavy, heavy, heavy sensations stop us from enjoying and being the best versions of ourselves, and stop us from flying off and having those incredible adventures, hypothetically speaking. It stops us from that full being in the very moment within a situation. So forgive yourself today, whatever you have gone through. Maybe you've had an argument with somebody. Maybe a relationship's come to an end. Maybe you think that it was your fault. Maybe you think it was their fault. Maybe you've fallen out with a family member. Maybe it's grandparent. Maybe it's mum, dad, a best friend. Maybe you've had a bit of a disagreement at work, or someone's been a little bit insulting. Maybe someone's been downright nasty to you. Maybe you've caused the upset and the hurt. Maybe you've caused an issue. It doesn't matter. As long as we rectify it, we try our best, we get back up. Sometimes people do all of that, but they forget to forgive themselves. And sometimes for us to be able to move forward, we have to forgive ourselves. Now, faith for me is a huge direction and a huge strength and a huge guidance in my life. And I'll be quite honest, I don't get it right. A lot of the time, I don't get it right. I always try my best, and I like to think that I always try and do the positive right thing. I'm always impartial in my life, and I never make assumptions. I never try to. But just by being human, sometimes we slip, sometimes we fall, and sometimes we make a mistake, which is just out of our character. But as long as we try our best to put the situation right, to always be respectful and kind, and to keep spreading kindness and to keep spreading love and doing the right thing in this world, then sometimes we have to just let it go and forgive ourselves. And some scriptures and the good Lord above really do help get me through a situation. So if you're not of faith, then absolutely, remember, you've got to have faith in yourself. But if you are, then sometimes I always find that if you can, spreading that really, really helps an individual and the people around us. But I do always find that you can't ever put that on somebody. They've got to find that themselves. They've got to go on that journey themselves. And even sometimes that can go wrong. But you know what? He wants us to speak what's on our mind. He wants us to talk about what's going completely wrong. He wants us to open our hearts and our minds to him before that guidance and that direction comes. Sometimes we're tested in the most difficult situations, but it grows us, as I say, it develops us, and it helps us take the next step in life. But quite often, that is through forgiveness of our very self. So whatever is going on in your life, whatever storm you, your family, your friends, whoever the situation might include, remember, if that storm's passed and you're still holding on to that weight, because my friends, these storms do pass, what we all go through, but sometimes we're left with that weight afterwards. And sometimes we've got to speak about it, we've got to talk about it, we've got to forgive ourselves. So it's time to get back up. God bless, take great care, and until next time, I look forward to you joining me then. Bye now.